Here we are with Dr. Emily Holmes. So, Dr. Holmes, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Emily Holmes. I'm a clinical psychologist and a cognitive neuroscientist working at the University of Oxford in the Department of Psychiatry. And yes, hello people interested in CBT research over in Brazil.
So, Dr. Holmes, how would you describe your current work in CBT and experimental psychopathology?
Well, what I'm interested in is experimental psychopathology, so studying analogues of clinical processes in the laboratory. And what we're doing in my lab in Oxford is looking at a range of processes. So some of our work looks at processes relevant to PTSD, some to depression, and some even more recently to bipolar disorder. But the thing that brings it all together is that all of our work's very interested in mental imagery.
Right. So in the field of mental imagery, what do you think is actually happening now? What's hot now?
Oh, I think the whole topic of mental imagery is a very hot topic. I mean, it was actually part of CBT right at the beginning. Beck published one of his first papers about imagery, and then there's been a lot of, we know so much about verbal thought, but studying mental images, we have much less research. So I think mental imagery itself is a really hot topic. So thinking in the forms of images rather than words. And I think it's really important because one of the things that our research has shown is that images have a much more powerful impact on our emotions than does verbal language.
Right.
So in therapy, if you want to work with emotional disorders, I think you ought to count images.
Right, and then we just pay so much attention to the words and then just let out images. Right?
Yeah, I mean the words are very important too, but I suppose what I think is very interesting is we really think about mental imagery in a disorder like PTSD. We think PTSD flashbacks, but what about other disorders too? So, social phobia, there's a lot of mental imagery we know about that work, but also all sorts of other conditions, OCD, agoraphobia, bipolar disorder, so that I think is a very hot topic.
Okay. So, what would you say is going to be happening in 10 years from now on your field of expertise? What do you think? What are your guesses about, what's going to be hot in 10 years from now?
Gosh, right. I think quite a few things could be exciting. I think we'll have a lot better idea of processes like imagery as a transdiagnostic process. From a science point of view, I think we'll have a richer idea of the underlying principles behind these things, and also new technologies. So whether we're using brain imaging or whether we're combining our interventions with novel computerized ways of working in therapy. So what I would like to see in 10 years' time is using on the kind of formulations that we use in CBT, like modifying a bias, for example. But I'd love to see that being done in radically new and innovative ways, say ways that are assisted by technology.
Okay. So would you just make a little comment on your work on Tetris? And because this is such a new and exciting thing.
Yeah. Okay, well the idea behind Tetris actually picks up on that because it's quite, what we know from the CBT theories of PTSD is that the thing driving the disorder is the flashbacks. And what we know about flashbacks is that they're image-based memories. Now, what we know about human memory is that it's labile, it takes, once you have a traumatic experience, you have a number of hours whilst that memory is being laid down and being made solid. So the idea of the Tetris work that you're referring to is some laboratory work that we've done which shows that if you give somebody an analog trauma and you then get them to play Tetris after that experience, if they play Tetris, they get many less flashbacks in the subsequent week. And the reason we believe that happens is because the Tetris is selectively interfering with laying down of the visual memory, the type of memory that's making the trauma flashbacks.
That's wonderful.
So does that summarize it? You've just come to the talk, so you should know about this in detail.
That's right. we're going to thank you very much for your collaboration with the 6th Conference on Brain, Behavior and Motion in Brazil. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to talk to you both. Thank you.